This is Linda Tilton sitting outside in my backyard for a short concert for the Americana Music Academy. I am so excited that they're doing this because, you know, it gives the teachers a chance to stay connected with you guys and you guys can see us and what we're doing, and we miss you so badly. I can't even tell you how much we miss seeing you guys. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to, because anybody who sees me perform will tell you that I am a teacher at heart. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about Hawaii, because a lot of people misunderstand the thing about ukuleles. First of all, the correct pronunciation is ukulele. It's not ukulele. No, it's ukulele. Think of the word Honolulu, right? Honolulu, the U's are ooh sound. Ukulele. And so Hawaii was the last, well, that's pretty good. Hawaii was the last state to become it was the last to join the Union, the United States. And that E string just went out of tune. So that's okay. I have to say to you guys, this is strange because I've never done Facebook Live. I've done a lot of Zoom stuff. But so this is a new experience for me. Just like with Avery last week, kind of a little bit of stumbling. But anyway, ukulele. Ukuleles, a lot of people think that ukuleles came from a lot of people think that ukuleles came from Hawaii, but they really didn't. They came from Madeira, Portugal, in the late 1800s. And it was called the machete. And it's an ukulele shape. But the people in Hawaii, the farmers in Hawaii had jobs for the sugarcane fields in the late 1800s. And there was a lot of unemployment and famine in Italy, in Portugal at that time. So a lot of people took the call and then to move from Portugal to Hawaii to work in the sugar canes for a 2 or 3 year contract. And they brought with them their machete. And the royal family saw the machete and they said, dang, that's awesome. And they adopted it. They changed the name from machete to the ukulele, which I'm told means jumping flea, but I don't know. So anyway, this is a Kamaka ukulele. The Kamaka ukulele, the Kamaka brand is the one that is one of the last ones made in Hawaii. Most ukuleles are made in China now. And so the ukulele that I'm holding in my hand was made in Hawaii in the 1950s. Kamaka is a very, very, very coveted instrument. When I saw this, I got this about a year ago. It was on a Craigslist, and it said vintage Kamaka ukulele, and they spelled Kamaka wrong. So I thought, aha. And so some friends and I started researching how much Kamaka ukuleles cost. And all beat up with cracks and everything, they sell for over between $800 and over $1,000 easily in bad condition. So I went to this estate sale, and I got in line, and I went in with a huge wad of cash, and I asked them if they have a music room. They said, well, we just have this ukulele over here. So I said, well, can I see it? So she handed me this instrument, and it was kind of beat up looking. And I was looking at it, and this guy comes up behind me. He goes, oh, you got the ukulele? I said, yeah, I did. He said, well, My brother would buy it from you. I see it's got some cracks. And I said, that's okay. That's okay. No, I'll keep it. And so I paid $35 for a Kamaku ukulele. Got it fixed up, and it's worth substantially more. So anyway, I'm going to start this song on my Kamaku ukulele. This is a song that comes, this is a traditional Hawaiian song. It's called Ula Kalapua. Ula Kalapua is a region in the Hawaiian Islands where there's a lot of cattle ranching. And believe it or not, there is a lot of cattle ranching in the Hawaiian Islands. So this one is, this is called Ula Kalapua, and it is in the original Polynesian Hawaiian language. So here we go. Kalua na mai nai a ula kalapua e niki niki ahi ahi ka homa a o paniolo kalua na mai nai a ula kalapua e niki niki ahi ahi ke homa a o paniolo. My goodness. Ibe ku'ulei a ula kalapua ona ona ma kabapuhi e brute ma olino Ibe hihi pulei a ula kalapua ona ona ma kabapuhi e brute ma olino Aina mai kukua ala ula kalapua e niki niki ahi ahi ke home a o paniolo Aina kapuana a ula palakua e niki niki ahi ahi ke home o paniolo ka home a paniolo ke hona panuliolo Ula Kalapua, very traditional song, a lot of fun to play. 3 chords, I mean, four chords. So the Americana Music Academy decided to do these happy hours for several reasons. One is to give you guys, or not just you guys, but all of us connection with each other because we miss having the house closed. We dearly miss having that house closed. And with the increases of the virus, we just cannot do it at this time. So it's great to have an opportunity to meet up and hook up. There is a virtual tip jar that Rachel Black is managing. And anything that goes into the tip jar gets divided between the Americana Music Academy and us, the instructors. Last week, Avery did a concert. Next week, we have Jen and Harry. Jen teaches strings at the Americana, and Harry is one of Rachel's voice students. So anything that you can contribute is very, very appreciated. We do still have expenses, you know, lights and all that jazz. So, and this will be posted on the Facebook page here at the Americana. And so if you miss opportunity to donate to the tip jar during this, then you can still just go to the homepage at the Americana Music Academy, push donate at the bottom of the page, and then you can still contribute and help us keep the Americana alive. We don't know when we're going to keep it alive, but believe you me, we miss it. We miss it dearly. So this next song It's one of a newer song to me. It was written by Tom Russell, a songwriter, singer-songwriter guy. And it was brought to me by my student, Don Stoll. And Tom Russell did an album in 2011 that it was about, each song was about people who were icons in American cultural history, theater, socialites, whatever. And one of them that he wrote about was Cliff Edwards. Cliff Edwards was a ukulele player. He was born in the 1800s in Hannibal, Missouri. And he dropped out of high school and decided to become a musician. So he went to a music store, got the ukulele because it was the cheapest thing in the store, and moved to Chicago and became a musician in a bar, basically. And the barkeep couldn't remember his name, so he nicknamed him Ukulele Ike. So he went from being Cliff Edwards to Ukulele Ike. Cliff Edwards, through many travails, wound up in Hollywood. He was a very good friend of Buster Keaton. He was in a lot of Buster Keaton's movies. The Doughboys, he has a great solo spot in the Doughboys playing his ukulele with Buster Keaton. It's a lot of fun. He had his own television show. He was in movies. In 1929, he made Singing in the Rain #1. In 1929, years and years before Gene Kelly was ever heard of. He made it #1 in the country. He is credited for selling millions and millions of ukuleles by his influence. If you see ukulele music sheets with little chord diagrams, that's also his influence. So Ukulele Ike is an amazing man. He lost his money. He lost his wealth. He died in obscurity. He ended up retiring in a convalescent home, as it were, a retirement community for retired actors. And he lost everything and fell ill and wound up going to a hospital where he died. Our dog is here. There he is. And so Cliff Edwards died in this hospital, and nobody knew him. Nobody knew who he was. They didn't know he was famous. They didn't know anything about him. He was just this homeless, drunken bum guy. And then the Disney studios found out about it, and they claimed his body and buried it properly in California. So Ukulele Ike was an amazing guy. If you ever hear one of his biggest legacies, actually, in the movie Pinocchio, he was the voice of Jiminy Cricket. So when you hear somebody singing, "If you wish upon a star," that is Cliff Edwards' voice to this day. And one thing that I love about this song that Tom Russell wrote is there's a line in it where he says, "Nobody dies, do they? Not if they play the ukulele." And that's so true, because if Cliff Edwards had not been a ukulele player, nobody would have known him. And all us musicians who play the uke, we stand on his shoulders. He is very much alive, again, because of his instrumentation. So that's my introduction to Cliff Edwards. He's an amazing, amazing historical figure in our cinematic and musical history. So this is a song, again, thank you, Don Stoll, for introducing this song to me. And this is called The Ukulele Death of Ukulele, the Lonesome Death of Ukulele Ike by Tom Russell. I was born in Hannibal, Missouri, a funny little frog-faced man. I made my living singing in the movies, the backdrops of Fantasyland. Mark Twain came from Hannibal, Missouri, and various other drunks like me. I learned to play the ukulele, reinventing my destiny. 'Cause nobody dies, do they? Now when they play the ukulele. And nobody cries, baby, now when you're wishing on a star. Well, maybe. Well, I kept singing in the rain, dancing in the clay-like sunshine too. I was the voice of Jiminy Cricket, wishing on a star for you. But I died penniless and forgotten, in a motion picture old folks home. In Neverland I lived in high cotton, my voice warbles on the gramophone. 'Cause nobody dies, do they, now when they play the ukulele? And nobody cries, baby, now when you're wishing on a star. Well, maybe. So hand me down my walking cane, my vaudevillian crooning pipes. I've got one more song for you, Charlie, the lonesome death of ukulele Ike. 'Cause nobody dies, do they, now when they play the ukulele? And nobody hurts, baby, now when you're wishing on a star. Well, maybe. 'Cause there's only a paper moon hanging over a cardboard scene. Da 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 da, ba 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 ba. The Lonesome Death of Ukulele Ike, Tom Russell. It's a nice story. And if you haven't heard that album, it captures so many people who are iconic members of our culture. The kid who was the actor in Treasure Island died destitute and was buried in a potter's field because nobody knew who he was. He just died alone. And so Tom Russell's an amazing songwriter, and I really enjoy his stuff. So this brings me to my final song. Wow, I'm over 15 minutes. What a surprise. I also want to put a plug out to, there's also a ukulele Facebook page. The Lawrence Ukulele Players have a Facebook page that anybody is welcome to join, whether you play the uke or not, if you live in Lawrence or anywhere. I mean, we have people from Singapore, for crying out loud, who's on our Facebook page. And we post stuff once in a while and things that are going on, not just in town, but different workshops, especially with the pandemic. There's a lot of online concerts with Jake Shimabukuro and with Cynthia Lynn and all these people who are big names. So, so the Lawrence Ukulele Players, we have a Facebook page, and you are welcome to join that Facebook page anytime. It's a really fun community. I miss you guys all so very much. I do. So, people ask me how many ukuleles I have. I have about 20. Or so. They come, they go, you know. So, where's my picture? Okay. So this little instrument was a gift to me by my good dear friend Molly Smith. This is my first ukulele, actually. We know a lot of people who played old-time style music, and I wanted to be able to sit and play and participate. And so Molly gifted me this years ago. It's a really nice instrument. It's well made. It's, you know, 5-piece neck. It's not trimmed. That's taped on. This was distributed by Sears and Roebuck. It's a 1926 ukulele. This is the $3 model, because it has a back on it. The resonator made it $3 model. The ones without the back on it was the $1 model. So, Sears and Roebuck, and I don't know who was the designer, but you know, Molly gifted me this, and I'm ever so grateful. And one thing about these old instruments, I will tell you candidly, is that they stay in tune with great difficulty. And I tell them, my dad was born in 1926, and so I know that this ukulele is 93 years old. And I tell people, if I was 93 years old, I'd be tuned to the key of good enough as well. Because, you know, dang. So this is one of my favorite little instruments. And this is one of my most coveted ukuleles. And that C string. Those darn strings. Humidity. You know, I'm outside in Lawrence, Kansas, in my backyard. My sweetheart Richard was doing the hula during Ula Kalapul, which is why I was laughing, because, well, it was funny. And my niece, Lexi, is here all the way from Lenexa, Kansas. All the way here. And this C string is not letting moving. It just got lower. So, these friction tuners, you guys, my gosh. Well, it makes me crazy, but I'm going to press on with the show. So, anyway, you can't not do a thing on ukulele without Tiny Tim. So Tiny Tim was a weird dude. And he knew he was weird. It was no shock that he was a weird dude. But he was iconic musically. I have this picture. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Tiny Tim playing at the Grand Emporium in Kansas City, Missouri in 1995, I think it was. Molly and I were there at this concert. My dear friend Chuck Wilson, who's a ukulele player in Kansas City, when the Kansas City Youngsters, Chuck Wilson was in the opening band with the Clam Jam Band. So here is Tiny Tim. Now, if you look at him, I don't know if you can see him because I see nothing here. I can't see what I look like at all. But he's holding, it looks like the same ukulele that I have in my hand. He came on stage that night at the Grand Emporium and he held up his ukulele and we all went nuts. And then his first half of his show was one long medley, one after the other after the other. He was a buffoon, absolutely, but he was also brilliant. And he was a fantastic interpreter of music that came from the 20s and 30s. So, Tiny Tim, I got to see the guy. He died in 1996. He was at a ukulele festival in Massachusetts. And he was singing Tiptoe Through the Tulips when he had a heart attack in the middle of the song at this ukulele festival. And he died right after that. He didn't die on stage, but he died soon after that. So, classic guy though. And this is a song that if you're of a certain age, you should know parts of it. And this is one of those songs that I really love for people to sing along with because it just asks for it. So Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Oh, there goes a hummingbird. I love being outside. It's hot and humid as all get out, but I'm having a great time. There is a virtual tip jar. I'm just going to throw that out there if you joined us late, that Rachel is coordinating. And if you can donate to the tip jar, it's split 50-50 between the Americana and me. And we are grateful for everything. So grateful for you guys. Totally grateful for you guys. I miss seeing you guys a lot. And we'll see each other. We will. We'll get through this. We're in this together. So, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Please join me in singing this song. It has an introduction you don't know exists. Tiptoe Through the Tulips came from a movie called Gold Diggers of Broadway. And if you Google it, you can see it. It's great. It's just great. Gold Diggers of Broadway. Okay, here we go. Shades of night are creeping, willow trees are weeping, old folks and babies are sleeping, silver stars are gleaming, all along I'm scheming, scheming to get you out here, my dear, come. Tiptoe through the tulips by the window, that is where I'll We come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Tiptoe from your pillow to the shadow of the willow tree. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Knee-deep in flowers will stray. We'll keep the showers away. And if I kiss you in the garden, in the moonlight, would you pardon me? Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Sing with me now. La la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Do do, do 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 do, do 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 do, do 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 do. Knee deep in flowers will stray. We'll keep the showers away. And if I kiss you in the garden, in the moonlight, would you pardon me? Come tiptoe through the tulips. Would you tiptoe through the tulips? Come on and tiptoe through the tulips with me. Ukulele! Thank you so much for joining me for this little happy hour live thing. I'm so grateful that you guys are here. I'm grateful for the Americana. It's a fantastic place to be. It's home to me. The ukulele, for those of us who would like to learn how to play the ukulele, we have several teachers, myself included, who teach on Zoom for now. Another little tidbit that you might think is weird, that I thought was weird. The ukulele became the official instrument of the Hawaiian Islands in 2015. 2015, like 5 years ago, it became the instrument of the Hawaiian Islands. I think that's weird. But anyway, thank you guys again so much for being part of this. Next week, 5:30, same time, same bat channel. It'll be Jen and Harry doing their little pieces. Thanks to Avery who did it last time. Thanks to you guys for joining us. And I look forward to seeing you guys later on. Thank you. Bye-bye.